Our destination?
Summer Staycation.
Let's go for a ride.
Happy Friday and welcome to Girls Trip.
Finally.
It's
We
the
are
Lord.
feeling Friday right now.
Yes,
That's
we
all I can
are.
really say. For some of us, that means we need a nap. For some of us, we need a snack.
Some of us are going to like a walk around town, right? Got my sneakers.
Joyce, stop analyzing this.
Some of us are going to like a brunch.
All right, I'll go to brunch.
Some of us are going to Thanksgiving dinner. But wherever we're apple picking, wherever it is we're going.
It's always camping. She's always going camping.
Yeah, remember that we walk into AC places now, so you need a little layer to keep yourself warm.
I like it.
Thank
Valid.
you.
Valid.
You like
know
it
what?
too?
She is actually embodying what we're talking about today.
That's true, actually.
Oh,
Yeah.
who
The
would have
summer
thought that?
staycation.
I'm really actually
On
how
it.
you should be dressing.
Yes.
On it.
On top of
Today
it.
we're talking about how to bring the vacation vibes home.
Yes.
Because listen, I love a good vacation, right? I need that to look forward to. But summer should be more than, 1 week or one trip out of the year.
Yeah.
We should maximize. And some years you're not getting to really get on a plane and go anywhere. Some years this is what you got to work with. So we're going to talk about how to make the most of that.
I just want to say that I really like your shirt, by the
It
way.
is very pretty.
I just
Thank
had a
you
good
so
look at it and I was
much.
like,
I
noticed the top. Yeah.
it's
Little
scalloped.
scallop.
Beautiful.
It's very comfortable because it has the straps.
Yes,
also.
it's not like falling.
So it's
you're
not
constantly
falling.
pulling off.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
So big
I'm
fan.
still seeing new items come out of Lauren's wardrobe. You've probably seen this 20 times.
I feel like I've got nothing left. I'm ready to wear the ball gowns next because I'm out of clothes.
I mean,
so
we're all waiting.
we're gonna get there. Okay, so I feel like I should start by saying kind of a little bit what inspired this was because prior to having this experience, I was kind of anti staycation.
Really?
The idea of
You're
it.
like, we need to go somewhere.
Always.
Yeah. For a couple of reasons, but one, because I think the idea of doing a big summer vacation was such a huge part of growing up.
Sure.
Of my childhood. It was that's what defined summer, and it was something I always looked forward to. So to not do that felt like lacking in that. But then as I got older, it really more became about the fact that I don't know that I could ever make a staycation feel like a relaxing vacation
experience,
because how do I stop working? How do I, not do all the things staring me in the face?
Yeah.
How do I really disconnect? So I always just thought, I kind of wrote it off of I can never do that because it would never really produce the results that I'm looking for. And then what was that? Maybe 2 months ago, a month ago, something like that. I think I texted Joy to be like, you have to have this life-changing experience.
What is it?
Where I basically almost unintentionally had a staycation Saturday, I called it. And it was just sort of this random Saturday that ended up being completely free.
Yeah.
That was just coming at the perfect time in the middle of a busy couple of weeks and then going into another busy season. And I was just so happy to be home.
Yeah.
So happy. And it was me, my husband, the kids, we were all home. So it's not like I was, having the house to myself and getting to relax. But it I felt so relaxed and recharged from one day that I was like, oh my God, the power of one day is amazing. Why am I not doing this more often? I can find a day, and it wasn't anything even extravagant because again, I wasn't planning for this. It just sort of happened, and I did a little bit of everything. I, had sort of a slow morning. I did a little bit of work. I did a little bit of cleaning. I did a little bit of playing with the kids. I took a little nap. I read a little. It just felt so luxurious.
Question. What time did you wake up?
Still early because the kids were up.
Well,
Okay.
I think that's a huge part of it.
Yeah.
Because you won't get all that done, really.
If you can wake up early, you'd be surprised how much you can actually get accomplished, I think. so that you are free to more be relaxed the rest of the day versus having this thing hanging over your head all day.
Yeah.
But if you woke up late and you're like, well, I just want to I'll get to that later. And you start relaxing first, but then you have this thing hanging over your head. Like, well, you still have to do that. So
Yeah.
I think waking up early is a key, even
And
if
those
it's-
I
things.
totally agree. And I never would have felt that way pre-kids because I lived for sleeping
Yeah.
in. So that's
Yep.
all I wanted to do. I'd rather be a night owl. But there is something to just like making your day feel longer.
Yes.
So
yes.
I now would rather get up earlier and take a nap.
yeah,
Okay.
100%.
Okay.
Then it just feels like, oh my gosh, I have been up for hours. I did a bunch of things and now I can take a nap and it's still not like 5
Dark
o'clock.
out. Yeah.
like,
Well,
you know?
especially as it gets warmer out in the
Yeah,
summer.
in the summer. Yeah.
Yeah, it's not sun setting at 4:30.
Yeah.
So
you have
you're
until like
okay.
8:30
Yeah,
almost.
yeah, that feels great.
Yeah.
And one of my most favorite things to do in the summer is to go for a walk at like not nighttime, but like right
Dusk.
before,
Like right- yes,
nighttime.
I love that too.
because there's no sun, it's not hot. That is one of my most favorite things to do in the summer. So to like close out on something like that, you just feel so relaxed, so happy.
Yes. That's my favorite time to go on any type of like beach lake
Yeah.
situation at that
That's
time
so
because
pretty,
then I
too.
won't burn to a crisp and I can
Yeah.
just like enjoy it.
Love that.
But have you ever done any type of like what you would consider a staycation?
Yes, my first time last year. It wasn't a completely a staycation because I was still working, although I took one day off while I was doing this. But it was so great that we planned for next year to make it an official staycation. Now, not everyone can do this, obviously, but for anyone who can, and maybe it will inspire you to do it. We have friends who go away on vacation every year, and they're asking people like last minute all the time. It always comes up like someone can't do it, so you got to find somebody to watch the dogs while they're away. So yeah, they have like a beautiful house, but the more I think about it, like if you plan to just go somewhere different, sometimes. That
Change of
is-
scenery.
Yeah, change of scenery. That could be really, really nice to plan. Like, okay, I'm going to take a week off of work and it's going to be a staycation, but I'm just going to go somewhere else. And it works out for us because they're going the summer. So we're like, okay, we'll do that in the summer. So we're not paying anything to be there because we're watching their dogs.
Right, right.
But it's still hours and we're just still hanging out there. So we're going to take the actual week off of work next year and enjoy that just to use as our like fake vacation.
Right. Yeah.
And it's like, yeah, I love being home, but that's like awesome to have that.
And then you don't have the like whatever you want to call it, temptation / guilt
It's
or
true.
pressure of
It's
like,
true.
I should be cleaning this. I should
Yes.
be doing that because you're not there.
Yep.
So that is definitely valid.
Yeah.
What about you?
I have never done one before. I don't think, to my knowledge, I can't remember even doing it growing up, really. I would say the closest thing to that is one summer, my nieces and nephews, we were all living in the same house at that point, and my mom and I would take the three of them and we'd do like day trips. So we did just to keep them. They were young enough where they weren't going to like camp or anything like that. So we'd go to the beach one day. We went to the Crayola factory. We went to the zoo. We went to the Bronx Zoo. And that was a full day. So we just try to do something, I think, at least every week or even twice a week. The beach was always thrown in there. But I feel like that was the closest thing to a staycation. But we were having fun.
Yeah.
But it wasn't like, oh my gosh, this relaxing away. We were
Yeah,
doing
yeah,
it.
yeah.
We were taking care of the kids. So we were moving around. But I've never done that personally. Where it's like, hey, we're not going to go anywhere. We're not on vacation, but we're going to make this like extra special. I don't think I've ever done that before.
Would Artie be into that?
Yeah, I think
Yeah,
he
right?
would be. To an extent, because I think the same kind of like Lauren was saying, it's almost a distraction sometimes being home because you want to do stuff because you're there. And so it's hard for him to shut that part of his brain off and be like, I'm supposed to be relaxing. Like,
Right.
it's hard enough just at the end of the day to be like, we're watching a movie, like let me not think about X, Y, and Z. So I think it might be a little bit harder for him. It is better to relocate to help him to get more into that mindset.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think some people actually would not be able to do it.
Yeah, it's a little more challenging, I think.
And I think I would have been that person at certain times, but I think it's so stupid because it's literally one day. But knowing how like what a benefit it was for me to do that motivates me to do it again and to actually like take the time to stop.
Yeah.
And for me, part of my problem is that if I just like bum it all day, I don't actually feel good.
Yeah.
You know, like if I'm just like, I'm watching episode 97 of season 4.
That's a different type of,
and I've done nothing.
Relaxing.
That's PMSing.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. I'm usually feeling very like blah and like I'm just like I might as well just go to bed because I don't like I need to reset because I'm just in this like stuck in this limbo. So I think the fact that I still had these like moments of doing something, but there wasn't a pressure. Like I didn't have like, you know, oh, it's Saturday, so I have to do X, Y, and Z. It was just sort of like whatever kind of came to me. I feel like if I were planning this for real, like if I were like trying to plan a staycation, the two things that I would probably try to do ahead of time was like any type of cleaning, deep cleaning or decluttering that you can do, almost like you are going on a vacation, I would do.
Okay.
Like the week before.
The week before.
Yeah.
That way you do feel like your surroundings are like calm and relaxing and you're not like, oh my God. And I would do as much as I possibly could around the food situation.
It's a big part of it.
Yeah.
Because that's a big part of it. One, it makes a mess.
Yep.
If you're all home, your sink is filling up 3 times a day.
Yeah.
And my kids didn't stop eating. Like they did not stop eating.
Yeah.
So I felt like half of my day was literally just prepping food and cleaning it up for them, like washing fruit and cutting it and like all that kind of stuff. And they love to just graze on stuff like that. It's like fruit and crackers and cheese and stuff. So that's stuff that you can definitely prep a little bit ahead of time. You can wash it all and cut it all and, you know, have that ready. So it's just like easy.
Yeah, you just take it out or like pour it in the container. Done.
Exactly.
Okay. Oh, I like
so
that.
I would probably put a little bit of like effort into prepping
I'm
that.
smiling because you're just making me think of like my childhood right now. Because we would go down the shore every year, and that was kind of like because we had like a little bungalow down the shore and on the bay. And I feel like it wasn't this, but it felt like that's what I was for 3 months in the summer, even though that would be impossible. But it felt like a long stay. But for food, my mom would basically prep at the beginning of the week, like vats of potato salad and and it was almost like we had the same dinner every night, but everyone was like, this is amazing. So it was like burgers, potato salad, New Jersey sweet corn, that's what's up, and like salad like that, and that was like every night. And then maybe one night she would throw grilled chicken in there for like and then if we were feeling really bougie, we would like go get pizza one night. So but the consistency was the same, so she wasn't thinking about food. I didn't realize then at 12 I didn't know that that's what she was doing, but they know like we're gonna go one huge ShopRite run at the beginning of the week, and this is gonna be us for dinner every night. It's the prepping.
It's just like it's taking the mental load off. Like I don't want to have to be figuring out every meal as it's happening because that's not relaxing. And then minimizing the mess of like cooking and stuff like that. So anything like that can be easily prepped, like chicken salad or potato salad or whatever. And then if I was doing it for a longer period of time, I would definitely be like, okay, like Wednesday night is our DoorDash night. Like, we're gonna order in. Or like Friday night, let's go out for pizza or you know, so that was taken care of. Because definitely it's different. It's different doing a staycation with kids versus not.
It is,
right? It's gonna look different. I definitely that day was as much as possible like, you guys need to stay outside. Goodbye. Stay outside
as long as you can.
As much as I could in those like morning hours. That way, by the time afternoon rolled around when I wanted to take a nap, they were like exhausted and like happy to veg on the couch and watch their, you know, little bit of TV for the day. So as much as you can get
them out.
that energy out earlier in the morning for sure. I don't know. Is there anything that if you were planning a staycation, you'd be like, this is what I want to do, or what I want it to look like?
I feel like growing up, we were very close with our neighbors, and they had a pool. We had a pool, but theirs was like the better pool. So you always be in their pool.
Better pool.
But one summer, I don't know what happened, but we were all like really into playing card game Spit. And then there was like,
it.
for some reason, like word searches and like crossword puzzles. So our neighbor's mom would like every day we'd go, she just like print out this list and we'd do for hours. We just spend like go into the pool, come out, do these different games. And then one day we like planned to have like a spit tournament like through between the kids. So I feel like something fun would be to have like a game day or certain like activities.
Something that you do once a day.
Yeah,
like
and then
after
it kind of
dinner, like you do this together.
You have like some sort of thing, or then like it leads up to like this family event on Friday or something like that. Like I feel like I would totally be like, we're doing an obstacle course today, and we're having like
Spartan run at 3
literally,
o'clock.
yeah. It's like okay, we're making this super like cool game or activity for. I mean, I would participate without the kids. Even like this would be an adults only.
We don't need them.
We don't need them, but you could easily do this with kids.
No,
but
I like
think that would be something fun to get at least everyone involved at some point.
Yeah.
Or again, just to like feel like you're doing something different. Maybe you don't get to do that during the week or something like that. I don't know. I feel like that would be really fun.
I'm all about the unscheduled, scheduled things because if I have a schedule, like an itinerary, she's gonna kill me. But I mean, if I have an itinerary, I automatically feel like
pressure.
I automatically, like almost like, oh, I have to like do this at this time, and that's not as fun for me. But if I know I have a certain amount of things I want to do today, like read 2 chapters of my book, take a nap, and play a game, right? As long as I know that I have time to get all those 3 things in, I am set. So it's like unscheduled, but I still want to make sure that these come in. Then I'll feel super fulfilled.
I'm okay with that for a staycation. I need an
Thank you.
itinerary
If
for a vacation, but a
Yeah.
staycation, I'm okay with.
okay.
I'm okay with that.
You gotta have an itinerary for vacation.
I just think that if I was thinking about it, then you just sort of think like, what do I want to get out of this? That's what I'm thinking about more, not as like an itinerary.
No, you're just like we're here.
What are your
we gonna do?
intentions? For that.
Yeah.
And thinking that through. I feel like if I were doing it for a week or like a couple of days, I know some people are very much like, anytime I go on vacation, they're like, unplug. I don't want to hear from you. Like, don't check your phone. And I'm like, I don't like that.
Yeah.
I like the idea of unplugging for periods of time. I don't like the idea of being totally disconnected.
Sure.
Yeah.
I like seeing what people are doing and feeling
Yeah.
connected. But I could totally see the idea of like from 1 to 3 or every
Each
day.
Yeah.
I don't have my phone
Yeah.
on me. And that's my like unplugged time.
Okay,
And
I
I
like
don't have
that.
to check it. And I can kind of slow down. Like I like the idea of that. Or like I'm not checking my phone until the afternoon. Like my mornings are going to be free of that. I like the idea.
I think that's
something.
But then again, for me, that's a good scheduled thing where you're saying
Yes.
between this and
That's
this.
very beneficial.
I love that. I think
make sure
it's
that I'm doing
super beneficial. Yeah, I need that in my normal life.
Yeah.
like honestly.
So for like staycation, so I love the idea of staying home, and I grew up doing that. We had a pool, we just went out back, whatever. But if you don't have
We went
those
out
things,
back.
we went out back. That's what no one ever said that you went out back.
We went out back. Yeah.
Wait, serious? Okay, I was like, is that like a weird saying? Oh, I went out back.
It was just the way
You're
you
all
said
out
it.
back. Sorry.
Get the chickens out back.
Yeah. So if you don't have all of that, let's say, and your house is just kind of like, wait, what if you're in an apartment or something? Is a staycation still considered like you doing like one thing a day, maybe local? Would you consider
totally.
that? Or okay, because I was like, I mean, it makes sense, I guess, because you're not really going and traveling and packing. You're still coming home. But I feel like those were that's very popular and was for my family growing up too, because there's so many of us. I mean, we went camping almost every year for a big chunk of my childhood, but we did a lot of like, again, beach day trips, or we did go to the zoo, or we just hung out with our friends and that felt refreshing as a kid or
So,
even as an adult.
The only thing about a staycation versus that is all those days are consecutive next to each other.
Yeah, I
Like,
guess that's all that is. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which you
Okay.
could still do. You could
Yeah.
still be like, this is our staycation. And 3 days this week, we're taking day trips.
Exactly.
We're doing different things.
Okay. Yeah. Because I think that's much more popular, but it's, I guess, your mindset again going into that. Are you feeling stressed about it? Is this supposed to be relaxing?
I think staycation just means like you're not like there's no real destination
Right.
in mind.
Yeah.
Like, cause that's what, when you think of vacation, like you're going away to
Yeah.
do, like you're not going away. You're doing all the things that you would hope to do on vacation if you can do like a pool, but you're doing all those things still, just not traveling to
Yeah.
go do it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
And it depends. Like sometimes it's not travel. Sometimes it's, you know, whatever your budget is. Like,
Yeah.
if that's
Yeah,
your,
that's
if that's
true.
sometimes your motivator is just like, I need a break.
Yeah.
I need to relax and recharge. And so you want that. And other times it's like, I want a vacation, but I can't afford to go on a vacation.
Yeah.
so
So we
how
have
can I
to,
make
how
it
can I make this
Yeah.
at
feel
home?
that? And I guess it depends what vacation feels like for you.
Vacation for me feels like going to breakfast because
Okay, yep.
I do not eat breakfast ever.
Okay.
And except when I'm on vacation.
That's when you're like, we're getting it.
So vacation to me means going to breakfast. So
Okay.
perfect staycation for me would mean like once or twice, like doing like
Going
an outing
somewhere.
to
Yeah,
breakfast.
yeah,
Okay.
Which I love, a perfect excuse to try a new like brunch spot.
How
Yeah.
great. How
Love
great.
And
that.
just be like leisurely. You don't have
Yeah.
anywhere to be. You don't have anywhere to go.
Especially if it's during the week. Like all those places that you would love to go on a Sunday or a Saturday that you
And
can
maybe
go
are
Yes.
booked or
jammed
Yeah.
or booked, but if you're going during the week, you can go like leisurely at
Yeah.
like 10 a.m., 10:30, 11, and then you have the place to yourself.
Yeah.
much easier.
That is the best part. Even all the things you were saying, beach or
Yeah.
zoo or whatever, going during the week is 10 times better
oh,
than
so much better.
the weekend for
yeah.
sure.
I love that.
And I hadn't thought about this until you said it, but I would totally love a like joint staycation where like let's
Yeah.
say we all staycationed the same week in
Yeah.
our own houses and like we took turns. Like you guys host, you know,
That's
one
a good
night,
idea.
we host
Yeah.
another night, you host another, and then we have like, you know, a day in between each where we're
Yep.
all just home by ourselves,
fun.
you know,
That would
whatever.
be,
But,
that's really fun.
Yeah.
like, you know,
Make a little theme, or you don't have to, but you just, you know, just have.
and like
That's
keep
fun.
it low
Yeah.
key. Like
Yeah.
no one's allowed to cook.
Yeah.
Like it doesn't even have to be at your house. Like we could
Yeah.
all meet at a park.
Yes.
We could all, you know.
Yeah.
But just sort of one person is in charge of those things, and that way you have. Because I'm still social. Like I don't know. I like to be left alone and read
Yeah.
my book, but I don't know. I like doing things with other people. Like
Yeah.
that's, you know, part of it. So yeah, I feel like
you need a healthy
incorporating
balance
both.
of all of
I
that.
had my first free Saturday of the year last week.
like under a little bit of duress. I was like, you had better, you
not
know.
be moving.
And it was great, but it was fun. Like we went and got wings, and then we went to the park, and then we walked around, and then we went home, took a nap. I had an allergy attack, and then
I'm having
you know,
one right. I'm having one right
You are
now.
really having one right now, and it was so good. And I looked at my husband, and he was like, yeah, I could do this like again, but I was like, but not a lot, right? And he was like, but not a lot. Like you guys are so similar in that
Yeah.
you like he needs his friends, like needs them so much. And I think part of why I don't feel it as much as he does is because I get more time with my friends on a regular basis
Okay.
than he does.
Yeah.
So that's why on a Saturday when I don't have anything to do, I'm like, this is
so nice.
amazing, because I get that quite often
Yeah.
actually, whereas he needs his weekends to
Yeah.
have that. So,
Yeah.
yeah.
I will say, so I tried to do it again, like a month later.
Okay.
I think because I just had another. I was like, "Ooh,
Let's do this.
I was like, I think this is literally like my last free Saturday until like the end, like till the fall, till we're starting school.
Oh my God.
So I was like, let's do it. And I made a crucial error that sort of stripped the Saturday
no.
of its staycation
She
vibes.
started self-tanning at 10 p.m. on a different day. Okay.
That's how it ended.
that was just. She had this
and I
spark.
learned some valuable lessons in that. Again, I don't want that feeling of like, ugh, like nothingness, but I only want like little bursts of productivity. I don't want to, you know,
project.
a
Yeah.
project. So, and that can go on two levels. Like one, if you're going to do like a full on week of a staycation and you're like, now's the greatest time to clean out my attic.
Yeah.
Like, don't start a project that you can't finish. Within your staycation.
It's so true.
Yeah.
Because then you're building stress that you're bringing out of your
Yeah.
vacation, and it's not worth that.
Yeah.
But if you're only doing a day, it felt really good to like do like the small thing of cleaning that I did. But then this time I was like, I'm gonna take my toothbrush out and clean the bathroom.
Yeah.
And then 4.5 hours later,
Your personal toothbrush?
Yeah.
Or like another toothbrush? Because you said my toothbrush.
Yeah. She's a
Miles' toothbrush.
Okay. Okay.
And I was like, oh, this didn't have the same effect as it did
That
the
was
last
manual labor.
time.
Yeah,
Like,
you were
like
you
this
were
was too
stressing there.
big of a thing. Like you just want little things where you feel like, okay, I got up, I accomplished something that feels good.
Moved the laundry over.
Yeah, exactly.
right.
Like, you know, put
Washer to
the basket of
dryer.
laundry away,
Yeah.
and you're like, oh, I feel so good that got
Washer
done.
to dryer.
But don't like deep clean your bathroom.
Yeah,
No,
it's
that's
not the way
that's
to go.
not the
So
way
we
to go.
We learned what
We
to
learned
do
some things.
and what not to do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Don't touch a toothbrush.
Don't do that.
Don't touch
Don't
a toothbrush.
And I feel like if I were doing a staycation, again, not to get all itinerary on you,
Be careful.
I wouldn't do that to
Be
you.
careful.
But I would try to think about some things to have it like prepared. Maybe I wouldn't say I'm doing this on this day, but like the stupid little things that I just don't make time for. Like on this staycation, I am using this shower steamer.
No, I
because
completely
I'm
agree
going
with
to
that.
take a longer shower than I
Okay.
normally would.
No,
Yeah.
no
And that
itinerary
is, like,
involved.
the tiniest extra little
Yeah.
like luxury
Yeah.
that I wouldn't normally give myself.
Yeah.
Yep.
And,
That's understandable.
And actually, like using those 10 face masks that I have in my linen
Because
closet.
there's nothing worse than a week later finding them and being like,
Right.
I
Man,
should have used
this was the time.
So taking them out and putting them somewhere where you know you're going to see them, you know you're going to be reminded.
Yeah.
Totally Kay. Yep.
So
That's a good
those,
point.
yeah, there's just those really, really little things that if I just like pull them out of the closet and put it out, I'd be like, okay, I'm committing.
I have
Some
this.
point
Some
this
point
week,
this week,
I'm gonna
committing.
I'm
Yeah.
gonna do this.
I'm committing to you, steamer.
It's happening.
to you.
I'm going to save Lauren's
Thank you.
allergy attack from any more.
It's rough.
But love these ideas. Learn something a little bit because staycation to me, I was like, boring. But, you know, there are some valuable things about it. So
you.
if you have any ideas of new staycation things that we should be doing,
Yeah,
or if
activities.
you have your own that you have done that you absolutely love, share those with us. Like and subscribe, as we always yell at you to do. But this Friday, most importantly, don't forget to enjoy the view wherever your ride takes you.